Welcome to the ninth edition of the Cal Phelps Show as we talk about Lyon College football in the 2016 season as the Scots make their way toward a possible conference championship. I'm John Kruger, Assistant Athletic Director for Sports Information and Marketing. I'm joined once again this week by Head Coach Cal Phelps as we talk about the Scots as we enter into homecoming week here at Lyon College as the Scots take on defending Central States Football League champion Arizona's Christian at Pioneer Stadium at 6 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. The Scots are coming off a bye week this last week. Coach, how did the team take advantage of the bye week and their week off of rest, I guess you'd say?
Well, we didn't take a full week off. We came in, practiced a couple days, gave them a couple days off, and got a chance for some of those guys to get healthy, some of the guys with nicks and bangs and bruises to have a week off from playing and getting nicked up again and things. So I think we came back in and guys looked rested, and we got some guys back from last time already that are ready to go, ready to play. So I think the bye week came at a good time for us. Just for the injury point of view of where we stood, but it also came at a little bit of a rough time for us because we had come off 2 wins and had some momentum going and things like that, and you obviously love to continue to carry momentum. So it's one that I think our guys still will come back ready to go, and looking forward to getting this week of practice started.
All right. Well, the Scots are 3-4 on the season. 2-1 in the Central States Football League, currently in third place in the conference standings. Lyon has won 3 out of the last 4 games, and of course, like Coach Phelps said, the last 2 games in a row. The Scots are also 3-2 on the year at home this season, so that's coming into this week's game. That will hopefully benefit the Scots against Arizona Christian. Taking a quick look at the standings, Arizona Christian, of course, is the defending conference champions. They are 4-2 on the year, 3-0 in conference, and in first place. Wayland Baptist is in second place, a half game back at 2-0, and of course we have both of those teams yet to play in conference action. The Scots are 1 game behind first place, 2-1 in conference. And then Bacone is 2-2, Langston 1-1, and Southwestern Assemblies of God and Texas College are both 0-3. So this week is homecoming game, 6 o'clock kickoff at Pioneer Stadium. We'll have a halftime coronation after the band performs, and so anybody that's interested in homecoming activities, that's when all that will take place. But before the game, after the Scots warm up, with approximately 24 minutes before kickoff, the Scots will recognize their 3 seniors this year. The 3 seniors, of course, Michael Bowles, the running back from Earl, Arkansas, Jacob Lovelace, an offensive lineman from Stockton, California, and Cody Duvall, a defensive lineman for Atkins, Arkansas. Coach, talk about those 3 guys, what they brought to the program, not only this season, but their whole career here at Lyon.
Yeah, I think all 3 of those guys are difference makers in the program, and all bought into something that was a leap of faith for them. And it's our first true senior class to come through. All those guys there transferred in and took advantage of it. Mike's been here the whole time. Cody's been here the whole time. Jacob came in spring of the first year we had it, so he's basically been here the whole time except for 1 semester, and all 3 of those guys have made a big impact on our community, on our program, and what we stand for. Obviously Mike Bowles has got an opportunity to possibly go do some other things maybe at the end of the year if he keeps playing the way he's playing. We'll see how that all shakes out, but he's been a true leader for this team, and has really bought into what we do here at Lyon, and I think he's going to graduate right now on time, and it's just that's what you love to see. You love to see guys come in your program, go through, and then graduate. And then Jacob Lovelace transferred in from California, and he's a big offensive lineman that controls our offensive line, leads our offensive line, and it's been a leader as well this year. He's been a very vocal leader with the offensive linemen and also on some of the other offensive groups, and it's been very nice to see him come to his own and be that leader that I knew he could be. I think he's going to have to come back for another semester and not graduate on time, but that happens sometimes with transfers. So we may have him around for another semester or two to help with our guys, and then Cody Duvall is going to graduate as well. Been more of a role player than anything for us, but a guy that just continues to work hard every single day, and he leads by example in the way he works, and not a big talkative guy, but just tries to lead by example. And like I say, all three of those guys are one of a kind guys that I think every one of our players loves playing with, and will enjoy recognizing them. Obviously, we'll recognize them on Saturday, but knowing that we got plenty more games to play with them, and hopefully more added on at the end of the year. But you just never know. So those guys got basically 4 games guaranteed, and hopefully they continue to get after it, and our guys continue to get after it for them.
One thing that you said, I think that is probably the key words or the key phrase is step of faith. When this program started, there was no building there. There was hardly a practice field, and most of those guys committed to come here with nothing to see, and they walked in here, and just now they've seen things grow. They've seen not only buildings but the team, and we've gone from with nothing in place to a team on the field with a 3-4 record and putting things together. And those are the true backbone of this program, I guess you'd say. When years down the line people look back, those are the guys that will be remembered as starting a program, won't they?
Yeah, obviously those 3, and then there's a lot of other guys too, right, that took the leap of faith that are in their redshirt sophomore year or in their junior year, and those guys will have a special time and a special place in my heart whenever they become seniors too. But they did take a leap of faith. There was nothing here, and they jumped on board with it and have seen growth. And I always tell guys too that you're going to leave it better than you found it, and they're going to leave this program and where we stand better than they found it. They found it with nothing, and they're going to leave it with an awesome facility up there, good record at the end of the year, and just good leadership and what it takes to be competitive and to grind on a daily basis. And can't thank those guys enough for everything they've done for our program.
It's been great watching those guys grow and become leaders of this program, and that's something that they'll be able to take not only through the rest of their college career here, but on in their professional life.
They'll continue to be outstanding men in any community that they go and be a part of. So.
Yeah. So now let's switch gears a little bit. Talk about Arizona Christian. The Firestorm is currently 3-2 on the year, and have won their last 3 games. They've defeated Langston 34-10. Southwestern Assemblies of God 29-22, and then on last Saturday they beat Texas College 57-7. The Arizona Christian offense is led offensively on the ground by Quinta Thomas. He has 369 yards and 4 touchdowns. Another running back, Justin Carroll, has 252 yards and a couple of touchdowns. Arizona Christian is averaging 176.8 yards on the ground. Quarterback Garrett Greenwald has completed 62% of his passes for 1,476 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Coach, talk a little bit about their offense and what we can expect from them and how we match up against them.
Yeah, it's a high-powered offense. I think their quarterback was Conference Player of the Year last year. And he's come back and done some really good things. The running back's a big physical back. I actually recruited him out of California, and he went to Arizona Christian instead. We faced him last year some, and he's physical. They run a pretty balanced offense. They're going to throw the ball quite a bit, but they're also going to run it. I think they average close to 200 on the ground. last week and threw for 250 or something like that. So their offense is going to be in the 400, 450 yard range. They're going to have a lot of run pass options in there, so a lot of quick game stuff out of the quarterback. But he can also stand back there, and if you give him time, he can throw it deep. So he's it's a guy that we've got to contain. We've got to contain both the run and pass, and they run a lot of zone schemes and things like that up front. But they do have some other things that they do. But the big part is the quarterback runs the offense for him. He's a very good player. I think he's a junior. He just runs their offense. He's comfortable in their offense. And it's dynamic. It was dynamic last year. It's going to be dynamic again this year. But it's one that hopefully our defense goes to play. I think the last game we played at Texas, against Texas College, we struggled a little bit there in the first half. But then in the second half, we were lights out on defense. So I hope some of that carries over this week, and that we continue to get after it, continue to get after the quarterback and make some plays. And I know Coach Howard will have a good defensive game plan put together, and I think we'll be just fine against them.
I guess when you look at big games, and this obviously is since they're a first place team, and we're in third place, you look at several things. You look at you don't want to turn the ball over, which we've been doing a good job the last several weeks. You don't want to you want to tackle well and not give guys extra yardage, and you want to stay away from penalties. Those are things I guess that you don't really coach them up, but you hope that those are things can become key and make a big difference in a big game like this.
Yeah, I think we talk about those all the time. Eliminate penalties, eliminate turnovers, tackle well. We work on that stuff. We do ball security drills. We do tackling drills. We talk about penalties all the time. And I think this year we've done pretty well with it. I don't think we've done great with it. I don't think we've done terrible with it. I think we've just kind of been okay. And we've done enough that we haven't shot ourselves in the foot when we need big plays, and we've made the plays we need to make. And to be a successful football team, you can't hurt yourself.
Right.
You can't take yourself out of position to be able to win those games, and we haven't done that. We've continued to make ourselves relevant, make ourselves useful, make ourselves everything there that we need to do, and that's what has to continue this week. We can't turn the football over. We can't make stupid penalties, and we have to tackle well on both defense, special teams. We have to tackle well, and that'll be a point of emphasis this week.
The Firestorm defense is allowing 113 yards a game rushing and 243 yards a game passing. Austin Schleier is the leading tackler with 38, and Josh Carter has 33 tackles with 6 tackles for losses and 2 sacks. What can we look at as far as setup and game plan against their defense?
I think it's going to be the same type of scheme we've had all year. We're a team that just lines up and runs the football, and with the backs we have and the offensive line we have, it's not going to change this week. Now, will there be some wrinkles and things added in? Sure, we always had some type of wrinkle in, things like that. But we're going to have to be physical up front, and they're good. Their safeties and linebackers and things are really good, and they fly around. They're fast. They're physical, and they go make plays. And as an offense, we've just got to be physical. We got to be more physical than they are, and we got to hit the holes when we have them to hit, and wherever they're hitting. If it's inside, hit them inside. If they're outside, hit them outside. All those sorts of things. We just have to be smart with how we handle the situation and what we got and what they're giving us. And if they're stacking the box, we got to be able to complete some passes. And those are things that we've done well throughout the year. We've made the plays we've had to make, and if we've needed to throw the ball, we've been able to complete it and throw the ball. If we've needed to run it, we've been able to run it, and it's going to be no different this week. I think we're averaging 300 yards on the ground or something a game, and it's one that I think we've got to get close to that number to be successful, and I think we got to get close to that 400 yards of offense number, just as they're trying to get to be successful and to beat them. And it'll be a tough game. It's going to be tough. It's going to be physical on both sides of the football. Obviously, they're leading the conference at 3-0. We're 2-1. We're getting one game back, and it's homecoming. It's our last time to play in front of our own crowd, and I think our offense will show up ready to go.
Michael Bowles, of course, we didn't play last week, so Michael Bowles went from first in the nation in rushing to third with 915 yards. He's still fifth in the nation in yards per game. We've had multiple games this season where we've had 2 or even 3 guys get over 100 yards rushing, and of course our passing attack has been good. It's been balanced some things out. Do you believe that those kinds of games, and if we have that kind of game, gives us a good opportunity when we got 1 or 2 guys rushing for over 100 yards and a good passing attack?
Yeah, I think that's the key. I think we've got to be able to run the ball with multiple guys like we have throughout the year, and Dwayne at quarterback has to be able to run the ball a little bit too, probably, and be able to complete the passes when he needs to complete them. And I have faith in that guy and faith in our offensive line that they're going to get the job done.
Yeah. All right. Well, Lyon College, their last home game this Saturday, 6 o'clock at Pioneer Stadium, taking on defending conference champions Arizona Christian in the homecoming contest in the final home game, which is senior day, at Pioneer Stadium. We hope you'll join us, and we thank you for joining us today for the Kyle Phelps Show.